It's a simple matter to bring the next ice age instead.
Hey guys, so what I am going to start throwing up on the channel now is, what am I doing? Hard alerts, that's what I'm thinking of, what Braid did there. So I'm going to try and go through all of the bosses in every single alert. I hadn't actually been recording them, I've done all of them, but I haven't recorded them, so I'm going to have to sort of double over everything. But this is Arkham Asylum. It is the hard alert in for level 30s. Probably one of the hardest, sort of on par with Smallville, if not harder. And this is the boss, Mr. Freeze. This alert itself has Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, and Poison Ivy, and then at the end you fight all three of them at once. There's no particular order, you can do them in any order you want, but this is considered one of the higher tiered hard alerts, so it does require that you have some tier or just generally good gear. So here we go. Basically, I guess the fight's already been going for a couple of seconds because I've been talking, but what you basically have is Mr. Freeze, so he's pretty basic. He'll stand, or you want to tank him in the middle. He does a freeze attack, or his ultimate, which is like it says there, gives you a warning that he's charging up a devastating attack. You just sort of line of sight him, hide behind something, and he won't hit you if you are in range of it. So if you're still in the middle without anything blocking you, it does insane amounts of damage. Probably for most people is going to nearly one hit them. In the next phase, what he basically does is summon these two ads, and you lure them towards a boiler, I think they call it in this. You hit it a couple times, you'll set it on fire. As you move the ads closer to them, when they get close enough about where they are right now, they turn into their robot forms, then you can start damaging them again. And unless your DPS is amazing, you're going to have to take them back 2 or 3 times before you can take them out. But they don't do too much damage, they're not too strong if you get them out of their ice form pretty fast. And while this is happening, I think Mr. Freeze is running around somewhere. He is attacking, but he doesn't do any real abilities. What he also does in a couple of the phases is he'll just, as Mr. Freeze will, just shoot random ice balls at people. And what he does in this one, there's some ice balls that are going around, is he'll actually freeze the air. So he'll sort of throw some water or rain in the air, and then he will freeze it all. So it'll start coming down as like spherical blocks that you have to dodge. It gives you a warning on the ground, so it's not too hard. So you can see here we're still sort of banging around with these Terminators. Kind of a weird name. And I don't really know where they came from. They just appeared. It's not like they sort of walked in on the fight. They just got summoned out of nowhere. So here we go. It's still going. I would say that this fight is not necessarily a hard fight, but if people don't dodge the devastating attack that he charges up, no matter how good your healer is, you're going to die. And if you don't lure these ads when they're in ice form to the boilers, you're going to die as well, because you pretty like if you take a look at the damage, doing like 5 or 6 damage instead of 30 or 40. And that's with my low attacks. As you go to the higher attacks, it's even worse. You're still doing 4 or 5 damage when you should be hitting for say 100 or 200. So it can make the fight last a really long time. But luckily he only summons those ads once, as far as I'm aware, unless it's a timed thing. But we only encountered it once, and I'm pretty sure it's a percentage of health. So, you keep him here. We didn't move him back to the middle because there was really no point. The group itself consisted of 2 controllers, a healer, and a tank, and I've noticed that a lot of my dungeon videos have been with 2 controllers. I know I talk about single damage classes, but nobody seems to be really playing them. They only switch to their actual damage class when the damage is low. Like if the group has a race or a DPS race, that's the only time I've been seeing the damage people. And here, I'm not sure if it was the mental ability the other guy did, or if he just sort of got stuck against the wall, but he sort of just stands here for a little bit, so we're able to do probably 10-15% of his health without actually having him fight back at all. And here is his other this isn't his other devastating attack, this is the same thing. You want to dodge it, hide behind a pillar. It's just a simple line of sight. And this is the rain attacks. As you can see, it's starting to rain. I don't I don't know if it's him causing the rain or if there's sprinklers in the room, but he does freeze it. So just before we down him, the rain does sort of solidify into the ice blocks that fall on the ground. His got basic stuff, so he is going to be punching people in the group, and he's going to be shooting ice at them. You'll see it on the ground, like the ice will pop up and down. Yeah, he does that. But there you go. I mean, that's the whole fight. Not too much in it. I'm gonna get Scarecrow, Poison Ivy, and all three of them up at some point. But there you go, Mr. Freeze, guys. Sorry, I hit my mic. Bye.